I never thought about that song for the original album. And then we were doing the deluxe. I kind of stumbled across it on my phone and I'm like, ooh. And that was actually my first ever studio guitar solo on that song.
Oh, really?
So that's probably why it's so good.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, let's talk about Killin' Me and Montgomery County. Killin'
Yes,
Me is
ma'am.
already blowing up the charts.
I just wrote just like in 5 or 6 minutes, just boom, 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 wrote the whole thing.
You know, you've said that you've wanted to feel uncomfortable again while making this album.
Yes, ma'am. Everything happened rather quickly for me, and it just kept getting bigger and better all the time, and I just kind of was desperate to be lost again creatively and musically, and it did seem to work, and it seemed to kind of fill my cup again.
You've had so many accomplishments and so many accolades at this stage in your career. What goals lie ahead for you?
Another great question. You're killing it.
He's got multiple #1 platinum certified hits. His new single, Killin' Me, is killing the music charts, and he just released the deluxe version of his self-titled album. Today, we're sitting down with the one and only Parker McCollum. We're just going to dive right in. How are you feeling today, Parker?
I feel great.
I mean, we're here in Napa.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, literally, for people that don't know, there was a line of people trying to say hi to you. I'm sure that's kind of your everyday at this point.
It happens every now and then. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Well, it's a good problem to have.
I can definitely see that. You know, you recently released a deluxe version of your self-titled album, and you added 4 new tracks.
Yes, ma'am.
It's always curious to me, like, why you would add it on a deluxe as opposed to maybe putting it on a new project.
One of the songs called Big Old Fancy House, I'd actually cut it 2 or 3 times before I even started making this record, and then cut it a couple of times when we were recording this record originally. And just never, I love the song a lot. It was one of my favorites that I kind of had bouncing around when I was talking about making the album. And I just never really I never felt like we got it right. I felt like it was missing something, or just, it was 98% of the way there. And I thought the song was too good to just kind of, throw it in there just because. So, and I wasn't thinking about a deluxe version. I kind of thought it had missed its shot. And then, record comes out and things go great, and we start talking about the deluxe version, which I'd never done. And so I was a little against it, not against it, but kind of hesitant to kind of commit to doing the deluxe version, because I loved that record so much. I was so proud of it, and I didn't want to just slap some songs, just for the sake of doing it. I really wanted it to kind of, hold its hat and hold its weight against the rest of the record. And so I finally got back in the studio to cut the deluxe version. I was like, let's give it one more try. And we nailed it. And it came to life, and it was what I always thought it could be. So it's a long way of saying it, but the deluxe version was kind of difficult to, just to commit to. And then once I did and I really got into it, started writing songs and figuring out what I wanted to put on it, it got a little easier. But it's my first time, so I think it went well.
I mean, maybe we'll do it again.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not. You never know.
Well, let's talk about Killin' Me and Montgomery County. Killin'
Yes,
Me is
ma'am.
already blowing up the charts. So talk to me about those tracks.
Killing Me was a song that just came out of nowhere, which a lot of times the songs that end up being my favorite on the record are the ones that kind of came out of nowhere when I was trying to do something and really failed at it, and then instantly just accidentally really kind of stumbled on something, which is the melody for that song. Monty Criswell and Randy Rogers were at my ranch in Texas, and we were in the middle of this other song, and it was kind of a grind, and we're all sitting around, it's kind of quiet, and we're losing faith in the day. And I just started playing this melody on guitar and started singing Killin' Me, and we wrote it rather quickly, which 9 times out of 10 it seems like the song that I really like on the record, or what ends up being my favorite, kind of comes to be that way.
You turn every head and stop a room on a dime, and when you look at me, I know you know I'm dying inside. You're everything I want. You're the last thing in this world that I need. Yeah, every move you make is killing me.
And then Montgomery County was it was late on the plane coming home last year on tour, and I was in my feels and missing home, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. The band was asleep, and I just wrote just like in 5 or 6 minutes, just boom, 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 wrote the whole thing, and had a little melody in my head. And when we came time to do the deluxe, I never thought about that song for the original album. And then we were doing the deluxe, I kind of stumbled across it on my phone, and I'm like, ooh. let's cut that. And that was actually my first ever studio guitar solo on that song.
Oh, really?
So that was kind of cool. That's probably why it's so good.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's Montgomery County, it's 105. It's that old curtain hiding me inside those pines. It's Bobby laughing, Joanne's perfume. It's Tommy Shirley, sweetheart, come on back real soon.
You know, you've said that previously you've wanted to feel uncomfortable again while making this album.
Yes, ma'am.
And creatively, what had started to maybe feel too easy for you?
You know, easy's probably not the right word. I just had kind of, I think I was a little burnout. I'd been touring since I was 22, pretty much nonstop. And, everything, it happened rather quickly for me, and it just kept getting bigger and better all the time. And I feel like I, started to kind of get in a flow of things that, it felt, I was comfortable. I knew I could go write these songs and cut these songs and make this record and put it out, and it was going to do X numbers. And I didn't feel like my heart, my soul, and my brain were leaning into the art as much with that kind of being the case. So I just kind of was desperate to, be lost again creatively and musically and artistically. And, it was a kind of a painstaking process for me because I spent every day in the studio freaking out, thinking that this was the complete wrong decision. And then by the time we were done with it, I've never been more proud of a record or a collection of songs. So I don't know if I'm going to go get quite as uncomfortable again, but it did seem to work, and it seemed to kind of fill my cup again.
Yeah. You also have been open about how songs like Stoned came from a more self-destructive place in your life.
Sure, a lot of that.
So how has your writing and your music changed since you're not living in that headspace anymore?
I think I just did it for so long, and I still crave those songs. I want to drive at sunset and look out the window and feel that way, and melodies and my favorite songs and my favorite records still make me feel that way, even though my life is as good right now as it's ever been. So I think I just did it for so long I can kind of tap into it when it's when I'm by myself and I'm just no pressure, just not trying to do anything. I'm just banging around on a guitar and kind of humming melodies and singing gibberish. It always goes there. I kind of have to steer it away from it sometimes because I'm like, okay, that's enough sad songs, which I'd just sit around and write them forever. But I get that question often. It's a great question. And the correct answer is I don't really know. My suspicion is that I did it for so long I can kind of tap into it a little bit. Mm-hmm. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. You recently talked about how Miranda Lambert told you to fall in love with the word no.
100% she did, yes.
Why did that resonate so deeply with you?
Well, I think when you're, and I think this is relative, I have this conversation often, but I think it's relative to any business, any area of life, any aspect of life. Like, you especially if you have a good work ethic and you have goals and you're chasing dreams, and a lot of people can relate to that. You don't ever want to miss out on an opportunity. You don't want to be sitting at home saying, dang, I wish I'd have said yes to that. I could, so I did that for a lot of years. I always wanted to be the hardest worker. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, you can still, bust your butt and take care of yourself at the same time. So the word no is I still struggle with it. I'm always saying yes because I want, and do things for my team. I want to be you want to be successful. You want to get to the end of the year when the tour's over and feel like, you took advantage of the year and put your best foot forward. But, sometimes you just got to say, no, I think I'm going to stay home.
Yeah. When you zoom out from the Limestone Kid to Gold Chain Cowboy to Never Enough to now Parker McCollum, self-titled album, what do you think has stayed the same that your fans keep coming back for, and what has changed for you internally as an artist?
Nothing. Nothing really. When I was younger, I always thought, if I got to where I was trying to go, I was going to feel a certain way, or I was going to fix some problems, or kind of be the answer to everything, and it's not. It's the greatest job in the world. I've been so blessed to everything I've ever wanted to do in this business. I've got to do it, and it's happened very quickly, and I'm so grateful for that. But if I wasn't married to the woman I'm married to, and had the relationship with my parents and my siblings and my friends and my team that I do, I don't think the success would just kind of be obsolete. it's catching your dreams is amazing when you have the right people around you through the journey. Just people tell me to stop saying it a lot of times, and I'm like, I'm a pretty underwhelming average person when it really comes down to it. I really still in love with what I do and writing songs and being creative and touring and working hard and doing the thing. But I don't feel any different, and I've never felt cool from anything that I've ever done. And I certainly thought that was going to be the case. So, which I'm glad. I mean, you don't. I was raised, very blessed to be raised the way that I was, and never forgot where I came from, and really proud of where I come from and the people that I come from. So that's helped quite a bit.
You've had so many accomplishments and so many accolades at this stage in your career. What goals lie ahead for you?
Another great question. You're killing it. I think now, it's just about trying to be the absolute best version of myself. As a family man, husband, father, son, brother, songwriter, musician, coworker, whatever you have it, boss, whatever. When you're younger and you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants and you're running and it's all happening, you're going, and and then finally you kind of, I don't want to call it wisdom, I don't know if I have a ton of that yet, but I have been able to kind of take a step back and look at things and just kind of decide how I want to approach things, and how do I want to feel when I come home, how do I want to feel when I go on stage, how do I want my fans to feel when they leave the show. So all of those things kind of culminate into trying to be the best version of yourself, and that seems to fill my cup more than anything else.
All right, I know you're about to hit the stage. Lastly, what can fans expect from Parker McCollum in 2026 ahead?
I mean, we're going on tour this summer. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited for this tour, but I feel like that question was kind of alluding to music.
Yes.
I mean, I'm writing a new record right now. I would say I'm 13% to 17% of the way to having an entire album written. So I'm working on it.
Okay, so no music ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.